All right, let's talk about moving your fleet. We're going to break down exactly how you can get your vehicles from point A to point B, but in a way that's smarter, faster, and believe it or not, a whole lot cheaper. We're diving into the logistics service from Imoova to see how they pull it off.
Look, if you manage a fleet, you already know the headache, right? You're constantly juggling vehicles, trying to balance your inventory between different locations, and dealing with all the ups and downs of seasonal demand. It can get so complicated and honestly, just plain expensive. It's a logistical nightmare. So the big question is, how do you solve it without blowing your budget? Well, here's the solution they put on the table. Imoova's core claim is a big one. They say they're the single cheapest way to move a vehicle. Now, that's a bold statement for sure, but it's all built on a pretty unique model that leverages a massive existing network of people. Let's dig in and see exactly how they back that claim up.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Imoova basically has two main services. The first one is called relocations, and this one is all about tapping into a huge global marketplace of drivers to get your fleet moved in a super cost-effective way.
And when I say huge, I mean it. The scale here is kind of staggering. We're talking about over 150,000 active visitors on their site every single month. And here's the key. These aren't just random people. These are travelers who are actively looking for vehicles to drive from one city to another. This pool of drivers is the real engine that makes this whole system work. So, how do you tap into that engine? It's a really straightforward four-step process. First step, you'll just list the vehicles that you need moved on their business-to-business website. Super simple. Step 2, a customer from that massive network we just talked about finds your listing and books it for their trip. Then, step 3, you manage everything, all your bookings, through a self-service portal, which gives you total control. And finally, and this is the best part, you only pay when a move is actually successful. No move, no fee. And these simple steps lead to some seriously powerful benefits. You're getting the lowest possible cost because you're using travelers who are already going that way. The payment model is completely risk-free for you. Plus, you get direct access to this enormous customer base, all while protecting your main rental market. It's a win-win. Okay, but what if you need a vehicle moved, like, right now? You know, for those urgent, last-minute situations where you just can't wait. That's exactly where their second service, called Pro Drivers, comes into play. Let's see how this one tackles a totally different kind of problem. The process here is just as simple, but it's really designed for speed and pure convenience. Step 1, you request a quote for the specific route you need. Step 2, you get a clear, fixed price right back. No guesswork, no hidden fees. Step 3, and this is the real game changer. Imoova manages the professional driver and handles all the communication. It is a completely hands-off process for you. And step 4, that fixed rate means what you're quoted is exactly what you pay. No surprises. And this really shows you the value for those time-sensitive moves. You get total budget certainty with that fixed pricing. You get incredible flexibility because these drivers are available at very short notice, and maybe most importantly, you save a ton of your own time and effort because they handle all the tricky logistics and communication for you. This slide just lays it all out perfectly, side by side. The easiest way to think about it is like having two different tools in your toolbox. For your routine, cost-effective fleet balancing, the relocation service is your go-to. You leverage that huge marketplace and manage it yourself. But for those urgent, this has to get there now moves, the Pro Driver service is your answer. A fully managed solution with vetted pros and a fixed price. Two different tools for two very different jobs. So the models make sense on paper, right? But who's actually using them? Well, it turns out some of the absolute biggest names in the rental industry. We're talking Avis, Sixt, Enterprise. They all rely on Imoova. When you see that level of adoption from the industry leaders, that's some really powerful proof that this works. And let's look at what they actually have to say. The fleet manager at Avis points out two really key things: reliable and quickly. I mean, when you're managing a fleet as massive as Avis, those are the two words you absolutely have to hear from any logistics partner you work with. And it's not just the giants. The owner of McRent uses words like incredibly easy, efficiently, and that word again, reliably. This shows you the platform is built to work smoothly for all kinds of different rental operations, saving them time and just helping their business run better. So, this all brings us back to one final question. When you look at these two totally different methods, one built for cost effectiveness and the other built for speed, it really makes you think about your own operations, doesn't it? Is your current logistics strategy just about moving vehicles from one place to another, or is it truly optimized? Is your fleet moving as smart and as fast as it possibly could be?